mega mix. This is going to be around an hour and a half. I haven't practiced it, so I don't know exactly how long it's going to take, but I'm planning on it being around an hour and a half. If you need to cut out at any time and chip off, that's fine. If you don't want to do the middle bit, so if you don't want to do the Tabata bit, then you can do the first half an hour, sit and watch, come back for the last half an hour if you find the middle bit a bit too much. So the format it's going to be today is half an hour of Pilates, half an hour of Tabata, which is actually going to be 25 minutes of work, and then half an hour of some stretching and some yoga poses. Okay, so you need to make sure you've got a drink. So it's really important that you have a drink, because you're going to need to have a drink just in the Tabata bit. Yeah. And it's also important that you've got trainers to put on. So I don't want you to do the Tabata bit in bare feet. So it's just a bit too much impact. So, and also, can you be really aware of the surface underneath you when we do the Tabata and start jumping around? Because if your mat is going to slip on the floor or on your carpet, get rid of it. Okay, literally just get rid of the mat. If it's okay and it's not going to slip, yeah, then
hello. Sorry, I'm a bit late.
Fine to keep it there. Yeah. Right. So, what else do I need to tell you? There are the exercises that I'm giving you in this first 30 minutes for Pilates are going to we're not. It's not going to be like my regular Pilates class where I'll be explaining everything and giving you loads and loads of cues. So we're cramming quite a lot into a short time. So you're going to need to listen to any signals from your body that anything doesn't feel quite right, and I need you to stop. So nothing should cause any pain at all. There should be no pain. Anything is no pain. Okay, so we're going to start at one end of our mat. Can I just check, is everyone fit and well? Has anyone got any injuries that I need to know about that I don't know already? Okay, right, so we're going to stand with our feet hip distance apart, and we're going to nod through our chin and just curl over, bringing our hands down towards the floor, and then we're going to engage our tummy muscles and roll back up. So nice and slow, just exhaling as you roll down, trying to mobilize the spine, feeling some warmth in the back of the hamstrings, curling up and down. We're going to do 5 of these, so we've got another 3 more. Starting to engage the abdominals and really trying to stack everything up on top of each other each time. So this is number 4. Exhaling as you come up. And last one. Inhaling and exhaling, coming all the way up. Now straight down onto the mat, onto your back. And we're going to start with a single knee fold or a double knee fold. Yeah, so just lifting one leg, lifting the other leg, keeping the pelvis nice and still. And if you're into doubles, it's going to be lift, pause, and tap, making sure we change sides each time. Now, start to use these first few exercises to get the breath right. Get the transverse abdominis fired up, so we're really looking at the deep core and no movement, no bulging through the rib cage. So you're really going to need this activation through this whole set, this whole class, right from the beginning to the end. So obviously when we start adding things like explosive movements and jumping and stuff like that, and you know, anything that's going to get our heart rate up, that's when our core can really start to switch off. So take this first sort of 5-10 minutes to think about pelvic floor, breath, and just really trying to engage that section and wake it up. Okay, Right, we're going straight into 100. So we're going to be either a double knee fold or you're going to come toes down. And we're going to lift our arms, reach through. Now we're going to pump our arms and we're going to come in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. You can change the legs to any position you want to, as long as you're really engaged through your tummy. And you're going to keep pumping, really working on that breath. So option for head down. Okay, working on a 5-5 pattern. Yeah, so I'm going to go for another 40. So I'm going in 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost there. Last round. Okay, feet down. And we want our ankles just in front of our knees, hip distance apart. And we're going to inhale to prepare, and we're exhaling, lifting our hips up to the ceiling, feeling like you're drawing your heels into your bottom. So start to activate your glutes and your hamstring. Exhale as you push up, making sure your hips are nice and even. So inhale as you come down, exhale as you push up. That's it, well done. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. And a quick knees to chest. And then find yourself up to a seated position, either with long legs or bent legs. So the choice is yours. And we're going to take our hands in front of us, starting with pelvic tilts. So you're just going to roll back, try and keep the shoulders over the pelvis, and pull in through the pelvic floor and the low tummy muscles, and sort of curl back a tiny bit, and then inhale to stack everything back up. So exhale. So you're feeling like you're pulling your pubic bone to the back of the room. Yeah, not through our upper body. So it's all through tucking our pelvis. Yeah, and then inhaling, coming back up. So exhale. If you know that you can go down further, making sure that you stay into that C shape, you'll stay into the C shape. Otherwise, you're just going to stick on working through the low tummy muscles. If you know you can go all the way down, I'm just going to bend my knees. You're going to go all the way down, and then coming all the way back up again. The first one will always be a bit ropey. Okay, and then changing to straight legs if that works for you. It doesn't usually work for me. It's definitely not going to today. So I'm going to keep my knees bent. That's it. So keep reaching, keep trying to work on the C curve through the spine, and keep the feet down. And breath out as you're coming up. And we've got 3 more. That's it, good. Really work on pulling in. And feeling like you've got heavy ankle weights on your feet. Okay, last one. Now we're going into roll overs. So I'm just going to show you, for some of you that aren't sure of this move, and I will give you an alternative for this one. So taking the legs, tapping, we're going to open, and with control take the legs down and over. Okay, so our alternative for that one is going to be a seated leg slide. So it's going to be single legs, okay? So seated and just sliding the leg along the mat. So if your neck's not feeling great or anything like that, we're not going to come into those full rollovers. But if you are, it's going to be really controlled, using the tummy muscles, tapping, stretching, and curling all the way back. That's it, pointing the toes over again. So you've got 5 of each. If you know your rollovers, you're really going to push through your heels here, flexing the feet, and then you'll be changing. So flex foot, open legs, tap the floor, touch, and roll with the legs together, nice pointed toes. So open, flex feet, tap, point, roll back down. Okay, so 5 in each direction, making sure that wherever you are with this, when you lower your legs, you have no back discomfort. So you need to be able to make sure that your abdominals are strong enough to hold the weight of your legs. Okay, you're going to do one more. And then taking your weight down onto your back again, so you're laying in that supine position. And I'm going to take one leg up to the ceiling. Now try and keep your pelvis as secure as you can. I've got both legs straight, but if you need to bend the bottom leg, that's fine. So this leg that's up, I'm engaging through my thigh and I'm going to point through my toes. And I'm going to keep my pelvis as straight as I can. Then I'm taking the leg over to one side and around in a circle and back up. Okay, so try and avoid lifting the hip. Now, if you can, you're going to turn your knee out slightly. So we're looking at the knee turning out to the side. And we've got 5 in each direction. So really working through the side body. So this time we're going to come down, over and around, and back to neutral. So down, over and around, back to neutral. And we've got that imaginary 50-pound note underneath our hip. That's it. So when we come round, we're not losing that 50-pound note that's underneath our butt cheek. Okay. So last one. And then we're going to swap to the other side. So nice tall legs. So we come across the body, we come down, up and around. Across, down, up and around. So it's the pelvic stability that we're looking for all the time. We're not rocking the pelvis. So imagine you've got 2 bricks on top of your pelvic bones at the front and you can't lift them. So it's all you're doing is greasing that ball and socket joint in the hip. Okay, last one this direction, and then we'll change it. So this time down, over, up and around. Down, over, up and around. Now what you'll notice is that the other side of your body really has to work hard when you do this. It's not all about that standing leg. Yeah, that leg that's pointing up to the ceiling. Last one, have a knees to chest. It's about the opposite side of your body, and that's exactly where I want you to feel it. Okay, quick knees to chest. Have a breather for a second. Now, either the feet are going to stay on the floor or you're going to reach both legs up to the ceiling. So you're either going to have your toes on the floor with your knees bent or you're going to have both legs straight up. And we're going to go into a curl up. So we're supporting the head with the hands. Okay, and then we're going to bicycle our legs. So we're looking at really reaching the legs away. And if you're on the floor, we're just going to tap those toes. So make sure that bicycle is really big. Okay, so we're looking at pointing as though we're trying to push a button on the opposite wall. Now, see if you can go the opposite way. So it's going to be switch directions. So you're pointing away and reaching up. Stay in curl up. Make sure you're not pulling onto the head. Really, really look down towards where the feet are going, as though you're pushing a button on the wall with your toes. Pelvis stays nice and neutral. You've got 2 more. Okay, legs stay high up to the ceiling. Option 4, curl up, okay, or head down. And you're going to scissor one leg down and switch. So leg switches. And we want 12 on each side, so that's 24 in total. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Another 4, I think. 3, 2, and 1. Bring your knees in. Well done. Okay, coming up, bringing the fingers behind you now. Yeah, so we're looking at lifting the hips. Now, if you need to, you'll come back to this bridge. So we did that one already. So fingers here, feet a little bit further away. Sorry, I'm so hot. Got to take my hat off. Okay, so we're going to reach up into shoulder bridge. But I do have an alternative, a little bit of a cooler option. So I thought I might get hot. Okay, so reaching up. So you're really going to squeeze the bottom cheeks. It's hard on the wrist, this one. Okay, so make sure that when you lift, you're really working from both sides, nice and evenly. You're pushing through the shoulders and keep looking down towards your knees. Yeah, so try not to let the head scoot back. We got another 2. And last one. Okay, just have a rest and bring your hands around to the front of your knees. The next one we're going to do reverse plank. So this one is going to be a shoulder bridge with long legs. Okay, so if this is too much for you, you're going to bend one knee like this. Okay, so you'll do this option and then swap sides. Otherwise, you're going to really point the toes, and again, you're going to push through, and we're going to see if we can lift. Now, if that is too much for you, you're going to do wide knee bridges. So knees are open really wide, you're going to push your hips up towards the ceiling. Okay, so really engage through that back body, push up, make sure you have loads and loads of glutes, and you're going to stay looking down your body. Okay, go for another 4. Just got to keep an eye on the time. That's it, well done, really squeeze those glutes, awesome stuff. Keep looking down your body. Then we're going to come over onto our side. We're going to extend the arm overhead or use a block if we have shoulder issues. Yeah, pelvis nice and still. I'm going to point my toes. There's no bending from my lumbar spine. So I've got a pole through here, and I'm going to kick my leg forwards and backwards, concentrating on a nice straight leg and a stable pelvis. I'm also going to concentrate on the kick backwards. Yeah, where my foot is flexed, and I'm going to squeeze my bottom cheek. Yeah, so I really get that extension into my leg, preferably not without wiping out my Christmas tree. Okay, so go for another 3. That's it, 2. And last one. Okay, up onto the elbow, up onto the knee. This time exactly the same thing. If you're going to struggle with this, you stay down and do another 8 laying down. Okay, so your hips are nice and high. We're going to kick forwards and back. So 2, 3, 4. Remember, really push into that heel. Also push into the shoulder. And hang on, I've lost count. It's always another 2, right? Last one. And come down. Stay up onto that elbow. This time we're going into side bend. So you're either going to lift a teeny bit here, okay, or you're going to lift and reach, or some of you might be able to double leg, lift and reach. So we're going to tap the floor, and if you're pretty advanced, you're going to come up onto your elbow. Okay, just remember you need to save some energy. Yeah, so reach, come down, reach, come down, go for another 4, whichever version you're in. So stretch, and last one. Okay, same thing, other side. So transitioning over to the other side, elbow underneath the shoulder. Wrong. Sorry, lying down on our side for leg kick, bottom knee bend, really pointing through the foot. And we're going forwards and back. So 1, 2, 3, squeeze into the heel. 4, that's it. Exhale as you come back. 5, inhale. 6, really squeeze that bottom cheek. 7, and 8, up onto the elbow, or repeating that, what you've just done. Yep, so we're coming up, pushing. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Side bends, so reaching up and over. Yep, up and over, up and over, up and over, or up and over. Okay, so you can choose whichever one is right for you. I should imagine you've got about another 4. Last one. Okay, laying onto your front, we're going to leg flutters. So you're going to be laying on your front, your legs are going to be doing small kicks like this. Then we're going to do arms and legs, so it'll be opposite arm, opposite leg. And then we're going to do seal beats, where our legs tap together like this. Okay, so laying down on your front. We're starting with flutter kicks, so keep your hips nice and still. And we're looking at like 100 of these. So our head's going to come down. We're really squeezing our belly button up to the ceiling. We're going to make sure the whole back line of our body is active, and you're really working on pulling your tummy muscles up. Okay, so we want to kick our legs as though we're trying to swim the channel, but tiny kicks, so we work nice and quickly and really keeping our whole body nice and engaged here. Now, if you need to, you're going to pause and then come back into it. So remember to breathe like we did when we were into 100, but now obviously it's slightly different. Yeah, okay. So I reckon you've got about another 20. Try and push into the back of the knee creases and keep your glutes really active. We're going to take a quick child's pose to stretch out our back. So bottom's going to come back over your heels and walk those fingers away. Let the head come down. And then straight over again onto our front, arms out extended. This time, right arm, left leg lifts. And change. So exhale as you lift. Exhale as you lift. But try and think about lengthening the body rather than lifting the limbs. So you are actually keeping everything really stable here. And you're trying to reach forwards as far as you can. Yeah, so reach, try and push into the knee creases. And we're aiming for 8 on each side. Yeah, so keep the tummy lifted too. So you have that good support for your lumbar. But you are going to feel it in your low back, because we are working the spinal extensors, but you need to make sure it's a good work. Okay, take yourself back into child's pose again. So you're trying to take a moment, breathe into the upper back, stretching out. Then the next one we have is the seal beats. Now, if some of you are finding that your back is starting to get a bit achy, then you're just going to stay into a tabletop position for this one, and you're going to slide one leg and slide the other leg out. Otherwise, we're going to come down onto our front. You're hovering the legs. Option to take the hands underneath the hip bones if it's going to feel a little bit easier for you. And then you're going to tap the inner thighs together. So the legs are like steel rods, and I'm opening and closing. Yeah, so I'm squeezing my inner thighs and my glutes together, and I've got tiny, tiny little movements. And again, you're going to try and go for 100 of these. So really engage those inner thighs and try and work on your 5 pattern. Yeah, so your 5 inhale, your 5 exhale, and make sure that you keep that breathing going and keep it fluid so you don't tend to hold your breath. Otherwise, you're just going to make tension into your body when you do this. Okay, so when you've done your 100, you're going to take yourself back to that child's pose once again. And stretch out through our through our back. And then making your way to a straddle seated position. Okay, so might sit to the side actually. So I'm going to straddle, and if it's more comfortable for you, you're going to sit up on a block or a cushion, grab a cushion off the sofa or something like that. Some of you might need to have a little bend into your knees, but make sure they don't roll inwards. So we really work on the strength through the hips to open up through the legs and try and not slouch. Okay, so we're sitting up nice and tall. Arms are going to come really wide, and we've got hold of a pole. Okay, and we're rotating around one way. We're going to reach across to the other foot. So reach, inhale as you come up, rotate, exhale, reach. So coming up. Now, depending on how that feels, will depend if you can do a double pulse. And we're not going to force anything. So if you can do a double pulse and you can keep your hip down, we're going coming up, rotating. So this is all from the upper thoracic body. We're using our obliques to actually bring us into that rotation. So it's not just a case of dumping ourselves down. You're really trying to squeeze in as you rotate. Okay, so squeeze in. That's it. So squeeze through your side body. We've got 2 more each side. Coming up, inhale. Okay, last set. And last one. Take the legs long now. Reach the arms up overhead, and we're going to roll into spine stretch. So start to curl down, reach forwards, flex the feet, pull the tummy towards the back of the room. Do not let all your weight come onto the low part of your back. So we're lifting up to go over. We're making sure that our tummy muscles are engaged. Our legs are also engaged. So I'm trying to pull my thighs upwards. So I'm reaching, and I'm going to roll down, and it's as though I've got a string onto my belly button, and it's pulling me towards the back of the room. And then roll everything back up. Yeah, and off you go again. If it's too much for you with the hands up high, just take them onto your hips, but try and avoid then that it all comes from the upper back and the neck. So we want to stack everything up nice and tall on top of each other. Okay, last one. And coming all the way back down to the mat, and give your knees another hug in. Okay, and that's our 30 minutes done. So what you're going to do now is make sure you have a quick drink. I'm going to give you like a minute to just organise yourself, have a drink, get your shoes on, change your mats if you need to. So this is where we're going to start jumping around. So I need you to make sure that you've got nothing you're going to trip on, slip over, etc., etc. So if your mat's going to slide on the floor, just remove it. So this is the one the kids might show us up a little bit. I'm just going to let some air in. So like I say, have a good drink. And make sure you've got a drink on hand. And I shall sort of be guided by you with this one when I can see you're sort of ready. So this, also you might want to put some music on at this point. This is going to be where you're going to get into your own little world and just get through this. So you might want some, nice quick jumpy around music on, nice and loud, whatever you fancy. Now, while we're just getting sorted, I'm going to explain how this is going to work. So we've got 25 minutes of pretty much non-stop. Okay, this is called Tabata. It's going to be 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So to start with, it will feel like the 10 seconds are quite a long rest period. But as you get going, obviously that rest period is going to start to feel like it's getting shorter and shorter. Right, so I'm actually going to explain all the moves before we get started. So I know that you're warm already, but I need you to keep moving while I'm explaining these actual exercises. Okay, so we're going to have 4 minutes of work. So each block is 4 minutes. We've got 5 blocks. Okay, so we've got each exercise that we do, we're going to do 4 times. Each block has 2 exercises. Don't worry too much about all that because it will all become apparent. But just remember that you've got 4 times of each exercise. So if you're not quite sure what it is on the first one, then you can pick it up. Right, so watch as I really quickly demo each exercise. I'm just going to shut my door so you can see a bit better. Right, so exercise 1, sumo squats. Okay, so my knees are wide and my feet are turned out, and I'm really going to squeeze my glutes as I come up. Exercise 1. Exercise 2, press ups. Okay, so you can do full press ups, kneeling press ups. Yeah, no dippy backs. Okay, make sure you're pulled in. Exercise 3, single leg hinge toe tap. So I'm going to come down, tap. So it's going to look like this. Yeah, so I'm not actually coming back into a lunge, I'm just tapping. So if you're able to, you're just going to swing the leg. So you're going to do 2 on each side. So remember which side you started, you'll be changing to the opposite side. Yeah, so it's a single leg hinge. So my back's nice and straight, my pelvis stays facing the front. I'm not going to start to round my back and do this one. It is coming from the standing leg. Okay. Down dog, shoulder taps. Yeah. So we're going to be in this position. We're going to tap, tap. So your alternative would be to tap and tap. Obviously, you change the load depending on how much you want to work. So this is the hardest version. Okay. Then we've got jump jacks. Sorry, this one. So arms and legs. Then we've got front kicks and claps. Okay, so I'm going to kick and clap under my leg. Yeah. So it's going to look like this. Yeah. Okay. Then we've got skaters. This one. Then we're staying into a squat. Punches. So we're going to sit down like this. We're staying low into the squat. You're really going to punch hard. Get that rotation into your obliques. Then we've got crisscross jumps. So these ones. Yeah, so my feet go one way, my arms go the other. Don't overthink about it. Just tap in and out and swing the arms if you can't get the movement. Yeah. Then we've got burpees. So jump, walk out, press up, jump. Yeah. So you can start to make it a bit more dynamic, or you can just step in and out. So I am not going to be doing all this with you because I can't do it all and talk at the same time because I just get too out of breath. Okay, so I'm going to be getting you going, setting the timer, and then you're on your own. Okay, any questions? Awesome. Right. My God, I'm actually running to schedule. Okay, so you're going to listen to my timer. So you'll have 1 beep that will get us started, 1 beep to tell us it's the end of the 20 seconds, then we get 10 seconds rest, and then the next beat we go again. Okay, so just okay, so we're starting with sumo squats. So we want our back nice and straight, our heels turned out, and you're really going to squeeze your glutes as you come up. Try not to lean your body forwards, okay? And make sure that your pelvis stays as neutral as you can get it. Okay, so that's our first 20 seconds. We now get a 10 seconds rest. So this is going to feel like it's quite long at the moment. Next one, press ups. Okay, so off we go. So you're going to inhale, exhale. Yeah, making sure you push through those movements, working on knees down. Obviously, any shoulder injuries, we're not going to push through this. We're going to make sure our core stays nice and connected. You can do this against the wall if you need to. And rest. Okay, so that's our 2 exercises for round 1. Totally. So now we've got 3 more sets of each. Get ready. So sumo squats. Now you know what's coming. You're going to start to make those movements a bit deeper, a bit more controlled, really squeezing the glutes, trying to slide down a pole, and then exhale as you come back up. That's it. And rest. 10 seconds rest. Make sure you always take this opportunity to get your breath back if you need to, and take a drink.
No.
Come down into press ups. Okay, so on your knees or on your toes, make sure your body stays nice and strong. Your nose is going to touch the floor each time. Yeah. Inhaling, exhaling. Keep that core really strong. Don't want to stop bending in your back. Okay, rest. So we're halfway round. We're halfway through round 1 already. Yeah. Sumos. Okay, so this time, maybe you add a little hop. Yeah. Maybe you squeeze your heels and push up. Make it a little bit more dynamic. So stick with what works for you, but make sure your glutes stay active all the time. Awesome. So have a rest, have a drink. You're smashing it. We can earn some Christmas mince pies here, I reckon. Okay, so press ups. If you're getting tired or you find you're really easily smashing through those, change the hand position. So start to take them into a diamond shaped position. Yeah. So work on just making things a little bit more challenging for yourself if you need to. And rest. Okay, another 10-second rest. So these sumo squats, this is going to be the last time you do these sumo squats. So they're going to be the best you've done yet. Yeah, really push through your heels and add that jump this time. So squeeze, push, push, push. You've only got 10 seconds of this and then it's over. So really push through it. That's it, that's it. Squeeze your glutes as you come up. You're going to think of me Christmas morning. Okay, and rest. Right, push-ups next. So wide hands, take the hands a little bit wider if you want more of a challenge, or come to that diamond shape. Yeah, so choose whichever version you think is going to challenge you, because this is your last round of press-ups. Really get that chest activated, work through the shoulders, keep the core tight. Well done, well done. Excellent, and rest. Woohoo! Okay, we've got 1 minute now of recovery. 1 minute of recovery, so if you need to let some air in, have a drink, strip off a bit of clothing, but keep moving. Give yourself a pat on the back. So we've already done round 1. So just another 4 rounds to go. We're going to smash through it, all right? So still another 30 seconds to go. We've got the single leg hinge with the toe tap. So remember which leg you start on, because you're going to be swapping each time. And then we've got the down dog shoulder taps. So that can be a 4-point kneeling shoulder tap. It can be more of a kneeling plank shoulder tap, Okay, and if you've got shoulder issues, you might want to actually do it against the wall. So you really engage and pull the scapula backwards. Okay, so single leg toe tap. So you're hinging from your standing leg. It's the standing leg. I want you to feel it in the glute. Okay? So tap back, come back in. Tap back, come back in. Okay, rest. Down dog shoulder taps. Okay, so get ready because the transitions get pretty quick. So it's tap, tap, tap. Really push the shoulders down and make sure you're active under your armpits. To make it more challenging, you take your weight, take your fingers further in and distribute the weight differently so that your weight is more over your shoulders than over your feet. Okay, rest. Awesome. So that's the first block. We've got another 3 to go. So remember which leg you're on. So we're going to do the opposite leg this time. So tap, come all the way up. So squeeze your bottom as you tap up. So my spine is nice and straight. I'm actually keeping my hips so they face the front, really squeezing that glute as I come up. Rest, rest, rest. Okay, so get ready. Get ready for those shoulder taps. Tap, tap, yeah. Even plank tap if you need to, or down dog tap. So you're loading up, really loading up your delts, really loading up your arms and your shoulders. Awesome, rest. So we're back to that first side again with those taps. So remember which leg you did first. And hinge, tap. So keep it moving. Keep those hips so they face the front. Think about working through that standing leg all the time. And if you can, the leg that's moving is super, super, super light. Okay, back down. So shoulder taps. There's your bell. That's it. So try and keep it moving because you're going to start to fatigue in those shoulders now. But if you're feeling okay, you're going to walk those hands further towards your toes. Put more weight onto your shoulders. So you're going to lean further forwards. Distribute that weight differently. Okay, so into that tap back. Oh, sorry, not yet. You got to rest. Can't be working through your rest. Okay, so tap forwards and back. That's it, really working on that standing leg, keeping the hips nice and aligned. Starting to feel that glute activation. So we've got really good form for when we start to kick up and things like that. So you're really getting your glute max really active. Okay. Off we go, last round of shoulder taps. So lean that weight forwards if you need to, or take it down into 4-point kneeling. Shift that weight forwards and backwards, wherever you find that the load is enough for you, even using the wall. Okay, done. You get a minute rest, okay? So, our minute recovery starts now, yeah? Well done. Now we enter more of a cardio sort of phase. So we're looking at really getting that heart rate up now. And this is where you need to find alternatives if you need to. So maybe not make those jumps so big, maybe step it out. So for example, with the jump jacks, I'm going to land properly. So you know those sumo squats that we did, we're preparing you for the jump jacks. So don't just think about this and onto the balls of your feet. Really make sure that your feet are turned out, your knees are turned out. My heels are going to land on the floor every time. This isn't on the toes. Okay, so you want to power up. Yeah, power up every time and use your glutes, not your calves, not your quads. Okay, so, and go. Now, see how many reps, it's only 20 seconds, so you're going to see how many you can do in those 20 seconds. Alternatively, you're going to tap, step, yeah, if you don't want to do those jumps. And you can even punch the arms forwards and backwards, so that's your rest. Right, front kicks and claps. I'm going to kick, clap, kick, clap, kick, clap. Now with these, can you try and imagine that you are kicking something with the ball of your foot? You're not hinging from the low back to swing that leg up. Yeah, it is a lift and a kick. Okay, so think about it, a lift, kick. Add the power to the kick. Yeah, rest. Now as we move on through those kicks, you're going to make them harder, but it's just going to come from the hip, not from the back. Okay, go. Yeah, jump jacks. So this is round 2. Really land those heels. That's it. Keep going. Add the taps if you need to. That's it. Well done. Good stuff. See if you can jump a little bit higher. It's such a short burst of time. And rest. 10 seconds rest. So that's 2 down of the jump jacks. Just got another 2 rounds. Okay, ready with those kicks. So kick. Make that kick. Really work it. Yeah, really work the hip flexors. Clap underneath if you can reach. And imagine that you're trying to kick a hole in the wall. So make sure that that kick is really hard forwards and not just about lifting up. And rest. Okay, really good job. Have a drink if you need it. You've got another 3 seconds. You're going back into those jacks. So off you go again. Let those heels come down, sink into the floor. Add the toe taps if you need to. Yeah, keep the intensity down. If it's shoulders, you're going to come forwards. Okay, so forwards and back rather than up and down. Just change it, but keep moving. And rest. Well done, well done. Excellent job. Right, off we go again. So really think about those kicks. Add power. Yeah, power in the kicks. So power, power, power. Yeah. Make sure that it's the kick going forwards. You're driving from the hip, not just swinging those legs around all over the place. It's adding that really dynamic kick. Yeah, make it work. And rest. We got 1 more round of each. Good job, good job. And then you get whole minute recovery. Okay, let's go. So last round, really lifting up this time. See how high you can jump out of that squat. That's it, push through the heels. Remember, we're all about the sumo squat. Really pushing the heels in and up, tapping them together if you can. That's it, keep going. That's it, we've got one more in this round. So remember, those kicks are really coming from the hip. Get ready, and fire, fire. Yeah, kick, clap, kick, clap, kick, clap. That's it, so kick the leg forwards, engage the tummy muscles, really pull in through the sides, punch that leg forwards. Awesome, you just got 3 more seconds, getting another few rounds here. Have a breather, let your breath come back, then we get a full minute recovery. Excellent. Okay, you're absolutely annihilating this. 3 rounds in, 2 rounds to go. So we've got skaters and squat punches. So our skaters are going to be jumping, tapping. Okay, jumping, tapping. So we are here like this. So the foot comes behind. Yeah, if you worry about that, just do the taps. Okay, just do the taps. So try and reach across. So get that rotation. Yeah. And then we've got squat punches. So we're staying low into a squat. And we're going to literally drive the arm from here. So I want those punches to be really strong. Yeah? Okay, so get ready with those skaters. So tap, push onto the heel, reach, and if you can, you're going to start to get lower and reach towards the foot. Yeah? Step it out if you need to. So just do whatever feels good for you. You're starting to feel tired. Yeah, step it out, but remember, you only make changes by pushing yourself and rest. Pushing yourself in a safe way, that is. Yeah, so to your ability. Okay, squat punches. So we're really driving from the shoulder, from the obliques. Yeah, and we're going to push. Okay, so really work on those punches. Okay, you can punch at the COVID. Done. Well done. Okay, rest. Yeah. Skaters, let's go. Really reach, push across the floor. See if you can travel along the whole mat. Just obviously make sure you're not going to slip. This is a slippy one if you've got a slippery surface. I love your adaptations, Willow. Excellent, well done. So good to see the kids coming in as well, I love it. Right, okay, so squat punches. Nice wide sumo squat, punch. Make sure you're rotating from the chest. You're driving those punches, not from the shoulders. It's coming from your sides. Okay, so really punch. Okay? Yeah, you've only got a few here. Squeeze the glutes, rotate. Awesome. Okay, another rest. So that's halfway through. You're doing absolutely great. Now, if you're not sweating, work a bit harder. Okay, so off we go. Right, skaters. Forgot where we were then. Yeah, so reach, fling those arms, reach across, really getting into your sides. Remember, it's fine if you need to tap. Yeah, if you need to tap, it's absolutely fine. And rest. Okay, 10 seconds, which is now 6. I just need to get my breath back a little bit. Okay, and squat punch. Yeah, really make sure those punches count this time. So remember, it's all coming from your sides. So we punch, really rotate through the shoulders, and my hips stay super still. It doesn't matter that we're just punching the air. We can still make it really aggressive and get rid of some of that tension. Awesome. Well done. Okay, we got 2 more sets. That's all, 2 more sets. Ready? Ready for your skaters or your squat taps? Yeah, into your sort of curtsy lunge. Okay, so remember though, this is your last one. So see if you can take those steps wider, push through the heels. That's it, really go. You've only got a few more seconds, so make it worth it. Well done. Okay, have a breather just for 5 seconds before we do those squat punches. These are going to be your hardest punches yet. Okay, and punch it out. Yeah, really squeeze through those obliques. Punch. Go. Yoo-hoo! That's it, just another 5 seconds. Come on. One in the air. Awesome. Well done. Okay, have a rest. And we get a recovery. We get to just get our breath back a little bit. We don't let our heart rate come down though. We still keep moving, we keep warm, and really importantly, we keep hydrated. Note to self, have a drink. Try not to stop moving. Try and keep everything fluid, moving, shoulder circles. Yeah. Avoid the temptation of doing anything else so you don't get sidetracked. That's it. So, crisscross jumps and burpees. Yeah, so we are The legs are coming across one way and the other way. The arms are coming with it. Okay, so this one you are onto your toes for. So start with the legs. So cross, open, cross, open, cross, open, cross, open. And then start to make it quicker. Yeah? So really work on the arms and the legs. Step it if you need to. Okay, burpees. My absolute worst move, but it's such a good one. So jump, come down, press, push, and jump up. Off you go. Alternative, come on your knees, do the push up, jump in, and stand up. So make it into a standing burpee. Otherwise, it's going to be really explosive. You're jumping up to the ceiling. You're coming down, you're pushing up. You're jumping. Yeah? Rest. Well done, well done. So think of this round as your finisher. You're going to go into it whole hog. Okay, cross jumps. That's it. It's your last round. Your last round. These are your last 4 exercises. So put 110% in. Okay, you're going to earn your mulled wine, your Christmas pudding. Yeah, we're going to get a sweat on. Rest. Well done, well done. Yeah. Awesome. You're right, Willow. It's in it. Okay, burpees. Jump. Come down. Press up. Push. Jump in. Jump high. Come down. Start to take it into a jumping burpee if you can. Yeah. So we push the legs out. Behind we tap. Okay, well done. You're almost there. Rest. Rest. Right, you've got 2 more rounds. That's all you've got. 2 more rounds. Get ready, get ready. Cross jumps. Let's go, let's go. 40 seconds, that's all you've got. These again and it's all over. Okay, so really reach those arms wide. On those tippy toes. Reach. That's it. Step out if you need to, but remember, you're going to push through as best you can. Okay, well done. Breather, breather. These 10 seconds seem to get shorter and shorter and shorter, but we're getting there. Okay, burpees, let's go. So push, jump, jump, jump back, jump in, jump up. Yeah, don't forget those press-ups. Get your chest to the floor. Really push down. Make it as explosive as you can. And rest. Oh my God. Who's still got their Christmas hat on? You're going to get a prize if you have, I'm sure of it. Okay, crisscross jumps. That's it. Go, 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 go. Step it out if you need to. Keep going. Well done. Come on, kids. Show your mums how it's done and dads. Excellent. That's it. Well done. And have a rest. Love it. Absolutely love it. Well done. Right, burpees. Okay, so jump up. Come down. Press to the floor. Jump in. And reach. If you're as tired as me, we're in this together. Come on, jump. Let's keep going. Push down. Really squeeze. Push. You've got a few more, then you're done. Okay, awesome. That's it. That's it. Okay. Get your breath back. Oh my goodness. Okay. High five your partner, the dog, the cat, Father Christmas, the kids, whoever's there. Well done. Might just give my Christmas tree a little hug since I'm on my own. So well done. Right, this is going to be your time now to get your breath back. Please make sure you have a drink. You're going to need, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes and then we're going to go into some yoga. If you've got socks on, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Okay, couple of minutes. Well done. Well done. Let some air in. Do whatever you need to. Woo! Sorry, Christmas socks. You did well, but now you need to come off. And that's our victory bell. Well done. Woo! Now, the really important thing here is that we don't just stop. Yeah, usually we'd come straight into a cool down now, and we're not doing that today. We're having a couple of minutes breather, and then we're starting to move again. So it's very, very important you don't sit down, yeah, and you don't just stop and disappear off for a couple of minutes. You need to keep moving. So just let your heart rate come down nice and slowly, walking down the room, round the room, swinging the arms just nice and gently. Maybe coming into, if you can bear it, just a few little squats just to keep moving while you organise everything for the next block. Don't know about you, but I'm really hot. I'm fighting with the urge to open the door and let some air in. But I know that we're going to need not to get cold too quickly. So we'll just have a minute or so longer. So keep moving, and you're going to need your mat again for this one. Now, don't worry at all if you've never done yoga before. There's not going to be anything really complex in here. We're just going to use it as a little bit of a cool down, and use it as a bit of a stretch out. I forgot to put my watch on to see what my heart rate went up to. So I'd be interested. I know, Clem again, I bet you've got yours on.
Yeah, went up to about 135. It's not bad, is it?
Awesome, good stuff. Tabata is such a good way of, you know, getting really good interval training in short amount of time. So HIIT training is a really good way to, you know, have really fast bursts of work and then pause. Gets you fit nice and quick. Right, okay. So is everybody feeling okay? No one's feeling sick or dizzy? Yeah, okay. Right, so we're going to start in a tabletop position. So our hands and knees. And we're just going to let our back try and roll up and down from our tailbone. And we're going to use our tummy muscles to control it, making sure our head stays aligned with what our spine is doing. So we're always going to make sure that we're not looking up. And we're either looking at our belly button or our pubic bone. And then when we come into that arch of our back, we're going to look forwards, not up. Slide the shoulders down. So just start to stretch out through the spine. And actually at the moment, you might feel very, very, very mobile because you're so warm. So sometimes when we're really, really warm, you can sort of push yourself a little bit too far. So be mindful that when you're working into your movements, that you are still engaging your muscles around the poses whenever we hold any static poses. So what we're going to do next is just bring our knees together and let our bottom come back. and stretch our hands away. So try and reach those fingers away from you and stretch out through the sides. So I've got some nice gentle yoga for you today. You know, just sort of 25 minutes or something. Trying to work on the breath, and your heart rate's probably still elevated at this time. You're probably still feeling quite warm. And then coming up onto your hands, you're going to tuck your toes and make your way up to a downward facing dog. So if your shoulders are issues or wrists are issues, then you're just going to stay down onto the mat, maybe in that child's pose or maybe down on your knees. Now I'm aiming to sink my heels down towards the floor, but that is not my main goal. My main goal is to make sure my spine is in a nice neutral position. And I'm going to be elevating through my shoulders. So what I mean by that is I'm pushing, sort of shrugging my shoulders up to my ears. And then I'm going to sort of spiral my elbow creases around to the front so I can activate underneath my armpits. So everything's nice and active. My tailbone is pointing up without arching my back. And if this means that your knees need to be bent, then you're going to bend your knees. Don't worry about if your heels are touching the floor or if your knees are bent. The alignment from your wrists, your shoulders, and your tailbone is the most important thing, and the rest will come later. So we're going to take the weight, or I'm going to say your front foot, so whichever way you're facing, just so you can see the camera. So your back leg is going to lift up. Okay, and we're going to flex through the foot and elevate that leg as high as we can get it, but keeping our pelvis square. Then I'm going to bend my knee, come up onto the ball of the foot and step forwards with that front foot. So I'm going to take this really slow because I know some of you may not have done this before. So however you get that foot forwards, just get it there. If you need to use your hands, that's fine. And then we're going to bring the back knee down just so it touches the mat. Now my heel is underneath my knee. Either keep your hands down or we're going to reach up through the body. Now your back foot can stay lifted, so you can stay onto the ball of the foot, or you can tuck the toes. Try and keep your hips square and reach up, and keep the glute switched on. So really stretch out through the front of the hip. Then taking the hands down, you're going to frame that foot, push up, so you're lifting up through your back knee, and then we're going to take that foot back to that downward dog position. Now if you need to rest, your shoulders are tired, obviously you have done lots of other stuff beforehand too, come down into a child's pose, so that's where we were before. If you're feeling okay, we're going to go the other side, so lift up through that foot, try and keep the hips as square as you can, push through the heel, and then bending the knee, elevating onto the ball of the foot. We're going to roll forwards, placing that foot between the hands. Take some time to get it there. Yeah. So don't worry if you need to sort of use your hand to shuffle it forwards. Just make sure that your knee is over your ankle. So I need you to make sure you can still see your toes. Okay, it's important that your knee's not coming forwards over the front of your foot. Pushing into the back knee. So we can just set that foot down to place the knee and then reaching up. So into that low lunge, either keeping the foot tucked or pushing up and forwards. So you're really reaching up, feel a stretch across the front of your hip. And then taking those hands back down, you're going to untuck the toes of the back foot, and we're going to pick up that front foot and come back to that down dog position. And then let the knees come down and take yourself back into a child's pose. So your knees come down, your bottom's going to sink back over your heels, and you're going to stretch those fingers away. Now coming up onto the knees, I'm going to tuck my toes, and as I exhale, I'm going to draw my tummy up to the ceiling, and I'm going to hover my knees. Okay, so I'm going to exhale, hover my knees, and then I'm going to walk my knees in as close as I can get them, so I can sit into a squat position. Now, if your heels are lifted here, that's fine. If your heels can find the floor, that's fine too. I need you to not be rounding into this. Okay, so try and stay onto the balls of your feet if you need to. And you're going to use your glute muscles to push the knees out. So try and let your chest come forwards. Now, if this is a really comfortable position for you, just make sure you're elevated a little bit and you're not sitting all the way down to the mat. And if you need to keep your hands on the floor, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up over your head. Okay, so keep pushing your knees out. Reaching up, looking up towards the fingers, really working on that upper back. Otherwise, you're just going to keep your hands down, so it's up to you. Yeah, if you feel too wobbly and you think you're going to fall backwards. And then we're all going to try this one. So if your hands are down, we're going to reach up through one arm. And we're reaching up and looking up towards the ceiling. If you had your hands lifted, just lift up through that bottom hand and really try and stretch up. Now we're looking for this movement to come from the upper back, not from the arm. So I can take my arm back quite a long way, but that doesn't help me with my upper back mobility. So I'm actually trying to rotate using my strength with my upper body and my obliques. Taking my eye gaze up towards the fingers, and then I'm going to swap sides. So I'm hooking that hand in, and I'm going to reach up, trying to make sure that rotation comes from the spine, not from the shoulder. Not from the shoulder. So I'm actually activating, I'm pulling my shoulder blade down, and I'm using the strength from my body to actually bring me into that rotation. Take yourself around, so whichever way you're facing, yeah. So you're going to be back to a down dog just for a minute. And stepping forwards, so whichever's going to be your back leg. So I'm going to step forwards and bring my foot back. And I'm going to turn my back foot now. So my heels are aligned and my back foot is turning out about 45 degrees. If you've got a Pilates mat and it's stretching, you may be better to come onto the floor. If you've got socks on and you're slipping, you may be better to take them off. I'm going to climb up that front knee and find my hips so they're facing the camera. So I'm really working on trying to bring my front hip around as I pull my front knee around to the back of the room. Okay, so my hips are facing this way and my knee is trying to roll in. So I'm pushing it back. I'm also making sure that my knee is stacked on top of my ankle. And then I'm going to reach the arms out. Now my chest is also set over my pelvis. So this is our warrior 2. Yeah, so it's a big wide stance, and you're going to feel a little stretch maybe into the groin here, but I want you to feel some heat into the front of that thigh. So keep trying to squeeze the glute, wrap the arms round. You might get a little bit achy in your shoulders, and take your eye gaze for that front hand. And then we're going to bring the front elbow down onto the knee. So try not to change the architecture of the rest of the body. Still going to push away through that back heel. And we're going to reach the arm up and over. So get a really big, nice stretch through the side. So you'll see that I'm trying to make a straight line between my ankle, my hip, and my hand. And all the time I'm trying to work on my front knee, sort of taking its way round to the little toe. Yeah, so I'm trying to point away as I try and keep my hips facing the front. Now your eye gaze for this can be up towards your fingers. And then we're going to sweep that hand around and turn the feet so they're both facing inwards now. And I'm going to find my hands on the mat. If you need to bend your knees, you bend your knees. Make sure the spine's not rounded. And then you're just going to let your body come down with a straight back. So that might be, you might be onto your fingertips, okay? You might not be down here at all. You might have your knees bent a little bit. So just make sure your feet are turned inwards and you've got a nice straight back, and you can come down to wherever is suitable for you. So feel a little bit of a stretch into the inner thighs, or a lot of a stretch, okay? So it totally depends on how wide you've got your feet, and try and wrap the sides of the feet onto the mat. Now, the chances are most of you are going to feel this into the back body, into the hamstrings and into the spine. So make sure that it's a nice, safe position. You don't have any pain in the lumbar back, because like I say, we're not rounding into the lumbar back. So inner thighs and hamstrings are going to be the two places that you're likely to feel this. And we're going to walk ourselves around to the other foot. So turn the other foot, step in a little bit if you need to. So we're now facing the other way. And then we're going to climb up that front leg. So use the thigh to climb up if you need to. And we're setting our base for our warrior 2. And so my heels are aligned. I'm making sure my knee is stacked over my ankle, and I'm trying to point my knee out to my little toe, and I'm going to reach my arms. Now my upper body is not leaning forwards, so I'm trying not to lean into this. I'm trying to stay nice and upright. My chest and my hips are facing you. My knee is facing the front, so is my hand, and my eye gaze is going to find that front arm as well. Now think about the sensation of trying to push your heels apart, but trying to bring them together at the same time. So what I mean by that is they're really active underneath your body, and you're not just sort of flopping into this. Yeah, your shoulders are active, your rib cage is nicely pulled in. You can feel your glutes sort of trying to keep your hips aligned. And then we're going to take the elbow and reaching up and over. So I'm pushing through my heel. I'm aiming to sort of keep my shoulders so they face the front. And I'm trying not to sort of collapse through my side too much here. And you can look up towards those fingers. But I'm aiming to sort of create a straight line between my heel, my knee, my hip, and my shoulder and my wrist. And then taking the hands down. This time we're going to take the hands on the inside of that front foot, and you're going to pivot around and bring your back knee down. Okay, so both hands are inside my front foot. Now I'm still maintaining that my knee is over my ankle and my foot is facing forwards, my hips are facing forwards, and you're just going to shuffle with the back leg to get a little bit of a stretch here into the hip. So obviously that can change for different people. So you're just going to move that knee back until you find that stretch, and you're going to keep keep your hands on the mat looking forwards. For some of you who are a little bit more flexible, you may be able to take your elbows down, but if that makes you round through your back, you're not going to go there, okay? So it's better to keep your chest proud. Now, the front foot is actually going to turn out. So what I'm going to do is turn my front foot out to the side now on a 45-degree angle. That's the only thing that's going to change, that and my knee. So I'm lifting where my 5 toes are pointing forwards. Now my 5 toes are pointing to the top edge of the corner of my mat. That has taken my knee out to the side, but I've also maintained that my hips are still facing the front. Now from here, if this is a pose that you're used to, you're going to sink the hip that's facing towards the floor, so my underneath hip, I'm going to actually turn around a little bit more, otherwise you're going to stay in that. Now if I'm turning around a little bit more, actually I'm going to just swap ends for you so you can see a bit better. So if I'm turning around a little bit more, I'm actually going to turn my hips and I'm going to lift my hand off and just help to tease that knee out to the side a little bit. If you're okay with that, we're going to reach the arm up and look up and up towards the fingers. So I'm really rotating my hips now. So my underside hip is looking sort of as though it's trying to find the heel of the front foot. I'm trying to avoid too much bend into my lumbar. Then I'm going to come back down. This time the hand's going to come to the outside of the foot. And I'm going to heel toe my foot into the middle of the mat. And I'm going to use my hands to just support my knee as it comes down into a pigeon. And again, I'm going to turn around the other side so you can see a bit better. Obviously, we're going to do both sides. So I'm sort of letting my knee come out to the side. Okay, and then I'm going to sit with my knee down and I'm going to come to a wide 90-90 position like this. Okay, so you're just going to adjust the position to where you need to be so it's not painful, and just try and keep that front foot flexed. Now if you're used to that position and you can come into pigeon, you're going to find a pigeon position. Okay, so your choice. You're going to sit high or low. So just sort of pushing your hips down, really opening up into the sides of the glutes there. And then shifting and rolling the hips all the way around so we can come to the other side. Yeah, so we're going to start into that lunge position. So you're going to find that lunge where you're onto the back knee, and my hands are on the inside of the front foot, and I'm making sure that my knee isn't coming over my toes. Yeah, so my knees stacked over my ankles, and I'm trying my best to keep my hips facing the front. So you'll adjust how much resistance you have through the back knee, but obviously you need to watch the alignment for the front knee, so you come up a little bit there. So keep the hands down, just open up the front of the hips. Now for many of you, this will feel really, really tight, and some of you might not feel it. So it's the same with everything. Turning that front foot now to 45 degrees. Yeah, so it's coming to the side of the room. And holding there. If if you're used to this position, you're going to rotate a little bit and bring the hand onto the knee and twisting out. And looking up, and then if you're still okay with that, you're going to reach, push through that bottom arm, reach up. And bringing that hand down. So we're shuffling the foot back to that center alignment now. Taking the hands onto the outside, and then we're going to walk across. So you're setting that hip down and just adjust. So you might actually be sitting in a tall position like this, in sort of a 90-90 position, leading your hands behind you. Otherwise you'll come round more into a pigeon position if you are used to this pose. You're going to make sure that there's absolutely no pain in your knee or anything like that. So stick to that 90-90 seated position if you need to. So staying tall or coming down. Okay, I just want you to feel a stretch and openness into the hips here. And then coming out, making your way around to a seated position. So that can look like whatever you want it to look like. Cross-legged if that's okay, or sitting up on a pillow, or even sitting up on a chair. And we're going to inhale, reach the arms up and interlink our hands and stretch them up and away. So really pull, stretch, 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 open up through our sides. That's it, well done. And then we're going to come across one side, reaching up and over, really getting that good side body stretch now. So reaching that hand up. So we did something similar when we were into a standing position, but you may not have been able to stretch enough here because you're too busy thinking about what your legs are doing. So we're going to reach up, open up through that top side. And same thing, other way, but we're going to uncross the legs and cross them the other direction, just so we don't get into bad habits of only crossing one way. So you're going to reach up, stretch. Stretch through that side. Really open up through that side body. And then finding a seated position again. This time we're going to interlink our hands behind our back. So hopefully your hands aren't too sweaty. So you're going to interlink them and then you're going to push your chest up and forwards. So really open up through your chest. If you find that you're slipping, sometimes it's easier to sort of hold your fingers like this and interlink them. So it just depends on how hot you are. Hopefully you've cooled down quite a bit now from where we were. I can see a Christmas hat's appeared again, so and then reaching one arm across the body. You're going to reach it across in front, interlink underneath, and you're going to rotate around and pull away and sort of look behind you. So I want you to feel a stretch all through your side there and your upper back. That's it. I'm so impressed with the kids that have stuck through and done the whole thing. Okay, and other side. And of course, actually the adults. Not just the kids. Okay, and release. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. Give your shoulders a little bit of release. Give your arms a bit of a breather. And I reckon you need to give yourself a big clap because you've all stayed the distance, and thank you so much. So I hope you enjoyed that, and really good job. So thank you very much. You can go and enjoy the rest of your day. So thanks for joining.
Thank you, Bunny. That was magic.
Well done. You all smashed it. So really, really good job.